Hello and welcome to Business Reporter's Future of Retail campaign. I'm Alistair Greener. Returns are a necessary part of buying goods online, but they are also hugely costly for businesses and the planet due to the extra transportation and waste. As the volume of returns grows, so too do customer demands for an ever smoother, more convenient and more personalised experience. If not managed properly, this can become a huge threat to a retailer's profitability. So how can businesses implement a complete return solution that keeps costs low and customers happy? That's what we're discussing today with Hannah Bravo, Chief Operating Officer from Loop. Can you explain the problems retailers face when it comes to returns?
There are two really large challenges that retailers are facing when it comes to returns today. The first is increasingly higher shopper expectations, and the second is the cost of returns. We know that customers who have a great return experience are much more likely to shop with a retailer again if they have a hassle-free experience. And while a return might seem like a simple part of the process, there's actually several complex steps that are required to stitch together. So it is a challenge that retailers need to take seriously. The second is the increasing cost of returns. Labor and transportation costs have increased year over year. And so the cost of a return to a retailer can be anywhere from 20%, even up to 70% of the original selling price.
Okay, so what is Loop and how does it deliver a complete return solution that keeps costs low and customers happy?
Loop is a returns and exchanges software designed for modern brands that are looking to improve their post-purchase experience. The software allows brands to automate their returns, to reduce their return costs, and to even drive revenue through their returns process, ultimately improving their profitability.
What is Loop's way of improving the customer experience?
Loop focuses on a few key areas to help retailers keep their customers happy in the return process. The first area is convenience. We know that customers have really busy lives and may have a return to process at a time when a retailer's customer service team may not be working, and the Loop experience allows them to get their returns started at any hour of the day. The second is really around helping customers find a product that they love. When a customer buys something, they never buy it with the intention of having to return it or not liking the product. In fact, they bought it because they wanted to find something that they love. And Loop's product helps consumers really explore the brand's full catalog in the process of a return in a really seamless way that feels like shopping so that they can end up with something they love. The last area is optionality for consumers. We know that it's increasingly less likely that customers would have a printer at home or have box and tape laying around to package up their return, and they might not have extra time in their day to drop off a return. So it's becoming much more important for retailers to give customers a bunch of options, and through Loop's partnerships, retailers can enable that customer experience.
And how can Loop help retailers cut return costs?
Loop helps retailers cut their return costs in a variety of ways, so I'll walk you through a few of them. The first area is through insights. We know that it's better for a retailer's profit margin not to have a return at all. And so what we want to help them do is learn why products are being returned so that they can avoid those returns in the future. We also help brands tackle the operational inefficiencies that naturally exist in the return process. That could be through key technology partnerships, making sure that all of them speak to each other, or it could be through key logistics partnerships that deliver lower shipping rates to brands.
Can you give us a customer case study to show how Loop can transform returns?
Absolutely. Loop works with a very large and fast-growing sportswear brand that, until working with Loop, processed all of their returns manually through their customer experience team. They went looking for a solution to help them automate that process and save money and time, and also to deliver a better customer experience, as oftentimes customers were waiting up to 6 weeks for one of their returns to be processed. this particular brand, though they set out looking for automation and time savings, they actually reap the benefits of much more. Their revenue retention rate, which is of all the return dollars for their business, how many of them were they able to keep in their business, was 53% after implementing Loop, which is far above industry standard. They were also able to deliver new revenue through the returns process through a feature we call Shop Now. That feature allows a customer who's returning a product to shop the brand's full catalog, and oftentimes customers end up spending more than they were originally returning, which is a new revenue driver for the business. Above all else, this brand was able to have much higher consumer satisfaction scores and NPS because they moved the return processing time from what was 6 weeks to a matter of days.
And finally, could you give us some takeaways from our discussion?
The first is that retailers face some key challenges when it comes to returns, really focused around heightened consumer expectations for a hassle-free return experience and the increasing cost of returns. The second is that there is a lot of opportunity in returns for retailers. Oftentimes, returns are a forgotten part of a retailer's business and viewed only as a cost center and something to avoid. But what we have found through working with nearly 2,000 brands on their return process is that those who lean into the process and really drive the best customer experience reap the benefits in the form of increased revenue and higher customer lifetime value. The last key takeaway is that in order to take on these challenges and seize the opportunities in post-purchase, retailers need to invest both in great technology and great partnerships to really focus on both the digital side of the experience and the physical and logistics side. Loop can help retailers with both.
This was Hannah Bravo, Chief Operating Officer from Loop.